Hey soldiers, we've got more proof that the economy of the United States has been so badly mismanaged that it's in a situation that it's never been in before. We have to understand what's going on, guys. Now, all three credit ratings have downgraded the United States of America. And you won't believe one of the reasons why. Actually, you probably will believe this reason. We will get to it in a moment. Guys, look, I'm running for my life from the algorithm. Sometimes it treats me well, other times not so much. So help me out. Go ahead, hit the like button. I want to also hear what you have to say about this latest downgrade. Now, you know that we've already been, we being the credit rating of the United States of America, it's already been downgraded by Fitch and S&P. Okay, we saw that happen. Now, Moody's, they say, hey, look, we got to weigh in as well. Downgrade the United States to negative, right? So if we put it in, the parlance of you and I, this is TransUnion, Equifax, and there's another one, the other one, all saying, yeah, here you go, guys, take this 480 credit score. And this should not come as a surprise to anyone, considering the debt that we are racking up. We're looking at racking up a total of $1 trillion in 2 months. That means our spending is accelerating because from June 1st through August 31st, we racked up $1 trillion. Okay, that was 3 months. Now we're looking at racking up $1 trillion in 2 months. What are we going to do in December, right? Spend $1 trillion? It is highly possible if the trend continues. This is untenable. Other countries see it. We just reported the other day about countries like Japan, an ally, China, who's traditionally been a huge purchaser of our debt, and Saudi Arabia, turning a blind eye, turning their noses up at a $24 billion debt sale that the United States tried to put on, and it ended up not working out so well. They sold 25% less debt than they wanted to. The other 25% had to be purchased by lenders of last resort. Okay, so the jig is up. All right, everybody sees this for what it is, and when I tell you why Moody's has said they are going to just go in and rate us as negative, you'll understand perfectly. Moody's cuts the U.S. outlook to negative, citing deficits and political polarization. I've tried to tell you guys before that you cannot separate the economy from politics, and you can't separate politics from the economy. I saw that and learned that lesson very well as a legislative assistant in the Maryland General Assembly way back when, as a lobbyist, as a regulatory specialist. You can't separate the two. Now, look, there might be a lot of people that get upset. There might be some folk that hit unsubscribe. Joe Biden's a disaster. Bidenomics is an absolute disaster. Robert Gates was former CIA bigwig, did some things in the Obama administration, Defense Department. He was the Secretary of Defense under Barack Obama. Insider's insider. In his book, which came out in the mid-2010s, somewhere in there, he says, in black and white, Joe Biden has not made a good decision in terms of foreign affairs ever. All right? Barack Obama is reputed to have said, never underestimate Joe's ability to f things up. So these are people that know this guy's performance, and he's sitting in the White House spending money like mad. He has depleted the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. He has spent and keeps on spending with regard to a certain war, all right, that is being lost by the people that we're supporting. We've given them more money than the annual defense budget of Russia, okay? many times over, and they still can't pull it out. But yet we keep dumping money down this black hole. It's time for us to get out. But Joe Biden, again, you've seen this guy. He can't even speak. All right. November of 2024 cannot come fast enough. All right. Moody's Investors Service lowered its rating outlook on the United States government to negative from stable. To negative from stable. In other words, unstable. They pointed to risk to the nation's fiscal strength. Of course, $33 trillion in debt for starters, right? Higher interest rates that are making us pay more on the national debts, the interest for the national debt. Moody's move to cut its outlook arrives as Congress faces the looming threat of a government shutdown. Here we go again with that garbage. I want the government to shut down. Okay, that would probably solve a lot of our problems. Remember when they shut down the government in the Barack Obama administration and they shut the national parks? A park that's been there for like 1 billion years. Okay, the land at least. You can't go into it. This is the games that these people play. This is part of the reason why our outlook is negative, because we're not governed by serious people. All right, now Mike Johnson, he's the newly elected House Speaker, says he plans to release a Republican government funding plan on Saturday. That's the day I'm recording this. They're saying that in the context, Moody's that is, in the context of higher interest rates without effective fiscal policy measures to reduce government spending or increase revenues. Let me explain what that means. Fiscal policy is controlled by the president and the Congress. That is either they're going to slow down spending or they're going to increase spending. They're going to raise taxes or they're going to lower taxes. So here's Moody's saying quite clearly, you guys are going to have to raise taxes and you know it. Guys, listen up, okay? They're telling you exactly what you need to know. Moody's expects that the U.S. fiscal deficits will remain very large, significantly weakening debt affordability. Now, they're saying that not just for the United States and the interest on our debt, but our debt affordability at our level also. Interest rates on vehicles, homes, credit cards, okay? And the debt affordability of businesses. And when businesses get hit with expenses, they typically pass it on to us. So we're looking at getting hit with a triple whammy. The business debt being passed on, higher interest rates on what we need to buy, and more inflation. Throw in the quadruple with higher taxation, which is coming. Brinksmanship in Washington has also been a contributing factor. Moody says, quote, continued political polarization within the U.S. Congress raises the risk that successive governments will not be able to reach consensus on a fiscal plan to slow the decline in debt affordability. They're saying, stop acting like children. Did you see Rashida Tlaib, okay, and the performance she put on? This is really troubling. Okay, you would think, at least in my day, you looked at Congress and you might not have agreed with them. You might have thought they were all crooks, but they behaved like adults, all right? As far as keeping the nation's rating at I'm going to show this to you, capital A, lowercase a. That's their rating, okay? Moody said that it expects the U.S. to, quote, retain its exceptional economic strength. How the hell you expect us to do that, Moody's? And they won't stop spending, okay? This is the political part where they've got to continue to be invited to the cocktail party, right? Further, positive growth surprises over the medium term could at least slow the deterioration in debt affordability. So they're saying something might happen. We might get a pleasant surprise. And, things could turn around. BS. Okay, you know that Fitch and S&P, they cut their outlooks. Feuding in Washington was a big issue in this, as we've said. The repeated debt limit political standoffs and last-minute resolutions have eroded confidence in fiscal management, Fitch said. Absolutely. So this is where we are. Guys, look, it's not going to get any better. All right. We don't have statesmen that are being elected to office. We have people that can't find a job in the private sector, are too afraid to go into criminal activity, and don't have the personality to become televangelists. That's what we have. These are the people that are running the country. So continue to look at those vehicles that give you a break on future taxation, because it is going up. Reject consumerism. Okay? You don't need the latest clothes and the latest this and the latest that. It's going to keep you a debt slave. All right? And pay off those credit cards. Guys, more to come. I'll talk to you soon.